My name is David Nis from Plandec, and I work with a lot of CTOs, heads of engineering, and delivery managers to help them transform their software delivery by becoming more data-driven. And today I would like to talk to you about 7 insights that are a must-have to transform your software delivery and to make the most out of insights and metrics to help you out. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. The real holy grail of understanding your software delivery is understanding your time to value, and is understanding the lead time from as soon as you create a ticket all the way through deployment. And we recently added CI/CD data that now links all your Jira, your code repo, and your deployment data to give you that full picture of how long it takes from the moment you create a Jira ticket all the way throughout deploying into production. And you can look at it, how your overall delivery capability is improving over time and what the average is, or you can actually analyze individual tickets to see where your outliers are and how they are performing. In addition, you can also look at the specific cycle time of your your features, for instance, that you're creating, to again understand at which stages your delivery gets stuck, and potentially what kind of profiles or capabilities you need to hire for as you're expanding and growing your teams. All right. Moving on, the next thing people want to understand is, as you want to improve a process, you want to understand how efficient that process is, right? So understanding flow efficiency is critical. Now, are you spending most of your time waiting? And in this case, is the work waiting to be picked up by somebody else? Or is most of the time actually spent working on the code and the capabilities? And again, flow efficiency will give you that insight on where you're getting stuck in the process, which gives you insights in what kind of resources you may require, or maybe how you want to reorganize the work for a better throughput. Because ultimately, a low flow efficiency will increase your lead time and your cycle times. Now, understanding the overall workload and the overall percentage spent on what people are working on is important as well. So a lot of our customers want to understand, what is my team working on? Are they spending more time working on features or new capabilities, or are they working more on bugs and fixing things? Obviously, that is dependent on the kind of project and the kind of program you're working on. So more mature programs probably will have perhaps some more bug fixing to do, while new innovative programs will obviously want to spend as much time as they can on features. But again, you want to understand that balance so that you know what's going on. And as you understand what's going on and how you're impacting your lead time and your cycle times, you also want to start looking to a little bit the quality of work. And the quality of work somehow is also represented by how much rework is happening, right? Are you producing code that stays in production for a longer period of time and that survives QA and reviews, or is a lot of your code coming back? And that can be expressed in your rework rates, but also how much days is being spent on reworking code that has returned from QA or other stages. Not all the days spent in rework are active. Some may be again waiting in the queue to be picked up, while others may be actual work. But again, you want to keep a close eye on what's going on here to make sure that your quality stays at a certain level, or that you may have to retrain some of the team, or maybe that the complexity is too high, or maybe that some of the ticket descriptions are not up to the level required to be able to perform the work. And then obviously, it's all about completing things, right? It's all about completing, in this case, feature tickets. And again, you want to understand a little bit, how is that flow going over time? Are you getting better at this? Some organizations want to measure whether they become more agile, and so the number of tickets may increase, but actually the sizes of tickets become smaller as they reduce the risk of new deployments, while others may have a totally different strategy. But all in all, having a view where you can see actually which tickets are being completed, which issue type they were, how many story points were involved, if any, if you're estimating, how much of the code was churned, how much of what was collaborated, how much was refactored and actually result in productive lines, is a good view to have a good understanding which of the tickets actually were problematic. So if you do your retrospectives, you can review some of those and understand how you can improve things better. Obviously, for the sake of the demo, we have anonymized some of the data in this, but you get the picture. And this is a unique view because it requires to combine data from Jira as from the code repo so that you can get this picture. And then as you move on, you also want to understand a little bit about best practices. And this is a risk element to a degree where to the one extent, you don't want to have tickets that are committed without a ticket reference because what's really then committed to the code. And otherwise, you also don't want to have code being committed without any reviews. So understanding which commits are happening without a ticket reference and which commits and by whom these commits are made without a pull request, without a review, is important to understand, especially in the security governance aspect. These are things you want to keep a close eye on. And then lastly, as you complete a sprint, it's always good to have a retrospective and understand, okay, how much of this planned sprint have we actually completed, right? And if we haven't completed 100%, in this case 73%, why is that? And then you can look at some of the work that has been completed overall, that's been incomplete, descoped, potentially removed, but you can also look at some of the work that's been added. For instance, a lot of our customers, they say, well, actually, any given week, we have a lot of unplanned work. That means it impacts our sprints, but we still want to understand how it impacted the overall and what's really happened. And so again, you may want to understand how much of the time was spent on creating new functionality versus working on bugs. Okay, and as you go through the sprint report, you can see all the different elements so that you have a good idea of how your sprint was flowing through the whole process. Now, these are the 7 key insights that most of our customers want to see and that I recommend you look at. And in addition, we highly recommend you also get some additional feedback from the team. So you do a survey, for instance, at the end of the sprint, where you get some feedback from the team, whether they were clear on the goal, whether they believe the goal will impact the business, whether they had autonomy, whether they felt that they're able to challenge their team, and all the other types of things that you may want to know from the team so that you actually can combine the best of both worlds. You'll have some very objective data coming from all the activities, but in addition, you'll also have some context from the team. So this was Dave Innes from Plandec. I hope you enjoyed these 7 insights that will help you to transform your software delivery. And I hope you will join us on becoming a data-driven technology leader. Thank you so much. If you want more information, go to our website, plandec.com, where you can sign up for a demo. You can sign up to our demo environment, or you can even sign up for free to a team edition and start using delivery metrics on your own data. I hope to see you there. Thank you.